Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 18. Chapter 18 is entitled King Yayati Regains His Youth. Interesting chapter. This king, a very powerful king, he lost his youth by a curse, and then he somehow got it back. Interesting story. Text number 6. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Ekada Danavendrasya Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini. There is one more verse with this 6th verse, the 7th verse, and read by myself. Devayanya, I read by myself. Devayanya Purodhyane Pushpita Druma Sankule Vyacharat Kala Geetali Nalini Puline Abala. Word for meaning. Shri Shukaha Vacha. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Ekada, once upon a time, Danava Indrasya of Rishaparva, Sharmishtha, Nama, by name, Kanyaka, a daughter, Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta, accompanied by thousands of friends, Guru Putrya, with the daughter of the Guru, Shukracharya. Cha also Bhamini, very easily irritated. Devayanya, with Devayani. Pura Udyane, within the palace garden. Pushpita, full of flowers. Druma, with nice trees. Sankule, congested. Vyacharat, was walking. Kalagita, with very sweet sounds. Ali, with bumblebees. Nalini, with lotuses. Puline, in such a garden. Abala, innocent. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, one day Vrishaparva's daughter Sharmishtha was innocent but angry by nature, was walking with Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya, and with thousands of friends in the palace garden. The garden was full of lotuses and trees of flowers and fruits, and was inhabited by sweetly singing birds and bumblebees. I'll read the next few verses by myself. Text 8. Ta jalashayam asadya kanya kamalalochanaha tire nyasya dukulani vijakru sinchatir mithaha. Translation. When the young lotus-eyed girls came to the bank of a reservoir of water, they wanted to enjoy by bathing. Thus they left their clothing on the bank and began sporting, throwing water on one another. Text 9. Vikshya vrajantam girisham sahadevya vrishasthitam sahasotirya vasamsi paryadhur vridita striyaha. Translation. While sporting in the water, the girls suddenly saw Lord Shiva passing by, seated on the back of his bull with his wife Parvati. Ashamed because they were naked, the girls quickly got out of the water and covered themselves with their garments. Text 10. Sharmishtha ajanati vaso guruputrya samavyayat swiyam matva prakupita devayanidam abravit. Translation. Sharmishta unknowingly put Devayani's dress on her body, thus angering Devayani, who then spoke as follows. Text 11. Aho nirikshyata masya dasya karma hyasam pratam asmadharyam tritavati shuniva havir adhvare. Translation. Oh, just see the activities of the servant maid Sharmishta. Disregarding all etiquette, she has put on my dress, just like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. Text 12, 13 and 14. Yairidam tapasa srishtam mukham pumsa parasya ye dharyate yairiha jyotihi Shiva pantha pradarshitaha yan vandanti upatishtante lokanatha sureshwaraha bhagavanapi vishvatma pavana sriniketanaha vayam tatrapi bhrugavaha shishyo asyana pitasuraha Asmadharyam dhritavati shudro vedam ivasati. Translation of all the three verses together, given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. We are among the qualified Brahmanas who are accepted as the face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Brahmanas have created the entire universe by their austerity, and they always keep the absolute truth within the core of their hearts. They have directed the path of good fortune, the path of Vedic civilization, and because they are the only worshipable objects within this world, they are offered prayers and worshipped even by the great demigods, the directors of the various planets, and even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, the Supreme Purifier, the husband of the Goddess of Fortune. And we are even more respectable because we are in the dynasty of Bhrigu. Yet, although this woman's father, being among the demons, is our disciple, she has put on my dress exactly like a Shudra taking charge of Vedic knowledge. Very harsh words. Text 15. Evam Kshipantim Sharmishta Guruputrim Abhashata Rushashvasanti Urangiva Dharshita Dashtadachada. Translation. Shukadev Goswami said, when thus rebuked in cruel words, Sharmishta was very angry, breathing heavily like a serpent and biting her lower lip with her teeth. She spoke to the daughter of Shukracharya as follows. Text 16. Atmavrittam avijnaya kathase bahubhikshu ki kathase bahubhikshuki kim na pratikshase asmakam grihan balibhujo yatha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. You beggar, since you don't understand your position, why should you unnecessarily talk so much? Don't all of you wait at our house, depending on us for your livelihood, like crows? So it's the turn of Sharmishta to also reply to the harsh words spoken by Devayani. So she is also speaking very harshly. Purport Srila Prabhupada says something very interesting. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Crows have no independent life. They fully depend on the remnants of foodstuffs thrown by householders into the garbage tank. Therefore, because a Brahmana depends on his disciples, when Sharmishta was heavily rebuked by Devayani, she charged Devayani with belonging to a family of crow-like beggars. It is the nature of women to fight verbally at even a slight provocation. As we see from this incident, this has been their nature for a long time. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Srimad Bhagavatam is very instructive in helping us understand so many important facts of life. So let us see the different verses. Each of them have got a lot of lessons for us. Try to discuss as much as possible in the next half an hour. 20 minutes actually. So there was a question raised by Parikshit Maharaj when he was hearing the history of King Yayati, that Yayati married Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya, and he also married Sharmishta, the daughter of the king Vrishaparva. So Yayati as a king marrying the daughter of another king is perfectly okay. It is the norm. But Yayati, Kshatriya, marrying the daughter of a Brahmana, this is unusual. And therefore, when Parikshit heard this, he said, he asked this question, that how is it that this Pratiloma marriage between a Kshatriya king and the daughter of a Brahmana took place? This is not the normal custom. So how did this marriage take place? What are the reason for this marriage? So Shukadeva Swami now begins to tell the reason in terms of the history of the very of the same personalities involved in this whole incident. So he says, one day Vrishaparva's daughter Sharmishta, Vrishaparva is the king, Danavendra. He is the king of the demons. And his daughter Sharmishta, royal princess, her nature is being described as innocent but angry. When it is said nature, it means acquired nature. This we have to remember. What is acquired nature? The nature of the mind-body system that we have got based on our association with material modes. We are not the body, we are not the mind, we are spirit soul. Spirit soul has got spiritual nature. What is that spiritual nature? Eternal servant of Krishna, pure devotee of Krishna. But because of material association, due to desire for material enjoyment, we pick up this material qualities. Only then we can enjoy materially. Otherwise, not possible to enjoy materially. So we pick up these material qualities and we get a particular type of body and a mind. Mind means mentality. And this is called acquired nature. So what is Sharmishta's acquired nature? Innocent. Innocent means not very knowledgeable, but at the same time simple-minded. That's called innocent. Simple-minded, but not very knowledgeable. So, like children, small children, you don't expect children to have much knowledge. But the way their mind works is they are simple-minded. They don't do too much calculations. Don't plan and plot and consider very deeply the consequences of their actions, etc. They don't do that. So innocent but angry by nature. the Sharmishta, the princess, royal princess, daughter of Parva, the king of the demons, this princess was walking with Devayani. Who is Devayani? The daughter of Shukracharya. Shukracharya is a very, 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 very powerful Brahmana. What was his special qualification? Later on it will be mentioned. He knew the art of reviving dead soldiers if their body was intact. And this art is called Mrita Sanjeevani. So, Shukracharya was a very, very powerful, qualified Brahmana. And he was the Brahmana advisor to the king, Vrishaparva, the king of the demons. That Shukracharya's daughter, Devayani, she was also with Sharmishta. And not only two of them, but with thousands of friends. They were walking in the palace garden. Obviously, the royal princess will have so many friends. The other daughters of the royalty and the people living in that palace or in the city or the capital city or whatever. The garden was full of lotuses. Pushpita Druma Sankule, Nalini, lotus flowers and other types of flowers, and trees of flowers and fruits. Not useless trees which give no useful leaves, no useful roots, no useful flowers or fruits. Prabhupada in another place says these are called sinful trees. Among trees also, there are sinful trees and pious trees. And just like among human beings, there are sinful human beings and pious human beings. Pious human beings are, nice people. They try to do good to others. They're well behaved. The sinful people simply want to enjoy life. They don't want to do any good to anybody. They're very selfish people. So like that, these trees also, the sinful trees, good for nothing. And nowadays we see, especially in the cities, they plant a lot of these trees. You ask that one of the forest conservators I was talking to. So I was telling, you're planting so many trees, right? From the forest department in collaboration with the corporation in the city especially, I was talking, that you plant so many trees. None of them give any fruits, useful fruits or useful flowers. Why you don't plant some such flowering trees or flowering fruit-bearing trees? Whoever uses it, let them use. No, after all, for you the effort is the same to grow these things. So, and then I was telling him why I am telling this is because Prabhupada explains in the purport, in one of the purports in Bhagavatam, that there are two kinds of trees, sinful trees and pious trees. So why are you planting sinful trees? I asked him. So, of course, he said, honestly, I don't know this, that there are sinful trees and pious trees. We generally plant trees which will be easy to maintain, which will not grow very big, which don't require much trimming, and which will be beautiful to look at. This is their consideration. That's what he was explaining. I said, okay, you may have your consideration, but just a suggestion that You may plant some trees which give some useful fruits or flowers. That'll be nice. So here we see the description, the palace garden full of lotuses, the best of flowers, the most beautiful flowers. Of course, nowadays the lotuses, we even now get lotuses, but even though it's very beautiful flower, not so much of fragrance. What to speak of lotus, even the rose doesn't have fragrance. Some of these rose flowers, our flower supplier from the market, what he gets, roses, very poor in terms of fragrance. So lotuses also, now you don't get lotuses with fragrances. But in the former times, they used to only have in palace gardens and especially in temple gardens and all, nice flowers which had very nice fragrance. Nice fragrance. So the garden was full of lotuses and trees of flowers and fruits. And because it is this sort of garden, it was inhabited by sweetly singing birds and bumblebees. These bumblebees, they got a very special quality. They take the flower juice and they convert it into honey. Only the bees can do it. Nobody, no scientist can do it. We give the scientists some nice flowers and tell extract and make it into honey, and they can't do it. But Krishna's arrangement, the bees can do that. So these bumblebees, they are called Ali. And sweetly singing birds, nice birds. I heard in New York City, the dense part of the New York City, you can't even find a sparrow. No birds at all. Absolutely no birds. This is what we have done to the place of inhabitation of human beings. No birds at all. Whereas the former times, even in the palace, you see, palace is the capital city. There are also so many sweetly singing birds and bumblebees. And here one word is used, Druma Sankule. Sankule means congested. The trees were not some few trees over a big area. Palace garden means it should have been very big, but it was congested with trees. Many trees. And that's how there were many sweet singing birds and bumblebees also. Nowadays, Prabhupada says in another purport I was reading yesterday, the 9th canto, we have become expert in cutting trees. Especially when this Mysore-Bangalore highway was widened. I saw so many trees were being cut. Wonderful trees were there, planted by the then Maharaja of Mysore. Very nice shade was there along the entire Mysore-Bangalore route. I had traveled by that road. Probably you also traveled. I have traveled in 1970. I clearly remember. Beautiful trees were there. And to widen that road, they cut off all those trees. And it was a very difficult job for the road makers, to cut those trees. They were very deep rooted. Huge trees. They were very huge trees. and all these trees are gone. So Prabhupada says, now we have become expert in cutting so many trees. So many trees. Especially the paper industry. They're destroying so many natural forests because paper production requires that pulp from the trees. So they cut trees with huge machinery. And in no time, so many trees are completely destroyed. So Prabhupada says a sadhu means one who has compassion for all living beings. He doesn't want to cut even a small plant or a shrub, what to speak of trees. He never want to even kill one ant. Most insignificant creature he doesn't want to kill. That is sadhu. So now trees are being cut, and in these cities, just to develop the city, instead of expanding the city beyond the present limits, which is also happening anyway, but within the city they want to cut down whatever trees are there and make more buildings. So it is very, very bad. Because of that, now social scientists are telling there is something called climate change. You've heard of this. Climate change means the normal, natural conditions of seasons is not anymore there in many parts of the world, especially New York. New York is the most polluted city in the world, but I heard now Delhi is even more polluted than New York. I don't know. Is it true? Delhi is more polluted than New York? But New York anyway, one particular winter, it was so cold in New York. New York is cold in winter, but it was so cold. It was colder than Alaska. Alaska is the coldest place in the whole world in winter, which is inhabited by people. So this is colder than Alaska, New York. And one particular summer, about 3 years back, 4 years back, New York was hotter than the hottest desert, Arizona. This is called climate change. Why? They have cut down all the trees. Practically, there are no trees, no birds. So, we are destroying nature in the name of modernization, urbanization. So, formerly it was not like this. Even the capital city, where the palace of the king is located, there the palace garden, fully crowded with trees. And what kind of trees? Trees of flowers and fruits, and sweetly singing birds and bumblebees. So when the lotus-eyed girls came to the bank of a reservoir of water they wanted to enjoy by bathing, this is one characteristic of material existence. What is that? When there is little favorable atmosphere for material enjoyment, immediately the business is sense gratification. Immediately. Very naturally it happens. And the opposite is true in the spiritual world. Spiritual world also, beautiful trees, very nice birds, very sweet singing birds, very nice flowers, beautiful lotuses. But the inhabitants, the residents, because they're all devotees, what are they busy with? They are busy glorifying the Supreme Lord, singing His glories. So either somebody is singing, then others are hearing. And they are fully absorbed in either singing or hearing the glories of the Supreme Lord. So this is the difference. Krishna explains this in the Bhagavad Gita. What does he say about his devotees? Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam. They're always discussing about Krishna. That's their only business. Wherever they are. Oh, very nice garden. Let us enjoy. No. That enjoying mentality, that is typical of material existence. Spiritual existence means always glorifying the Lord, always discussing about the Lord, always engaged in serving the Lord in different ways. And thereby, tushyanticha ramanticha, they are fully blissful. In doing so, they are always blissful and they are always satisfied within the core of their heart. They don't have to seek any satisfaction externally. Self-satisfied. Simply by glorifying the Lord, hearing the glories of the Lord, they are always satisfied, fully satisfied, and always blissful, always happy. They have no cause for any lamentation. Na shochati, na kankshati. Never. So, here you can see the contrast. These girls, they came to a reservoir of water and immediately they began sporting, throwing water on each other, and they left their clothes on the bank of that reservoir of water, began sporting. Suddenly they saw Shiva on his bull carrier, Nandishwara, with his wife Parvati. And because they were naked, they became ashamed and they quickly got out of the water and covered themselves with cloth to show respect to Shiva. Unfortunately, Sharmishta unknowingly put on Devayani's dress. And Devayani, who observed this, she became very angry. And she began to speak. Very, very harsh words she spoke. Just see the activities of the servant maid Sharmishta. Dasya. She's just like our servant. And what is she doing? Disregarding all etiquette. Asampratam. She has put on my dress. Asmadharyam. Dhrutavati. And this is just like Shuni iva havihi advare. It is just like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. Very, 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 very harsh words. She's comparing a royal princess for some small mistake she did. It said here, unknowingly she put on. Because they're in a hurry, no? They are a little ashamed. How can we be like this? Shiva is passing. So immediately came to the bank and picked up some cloth and immediately put on. Accidentally, it happened to be somebody else's dress. But this Devayani, she's so proud of being a daughter of a Brahmana. Who am I? I am the daughter of a Brahmana. Who are you? You are daughter of a Kshatriya. Inferior. You are inferior to me. How dare you put on my dress? And this is like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. This dog, particularly in the Vedic culture, dog is considered the lowest of low-class animals. Lowest of low-class animals. In Jagannath Puri, probably you are aware of this, when they are shifting the cooked bhoga from the temple kitchen to the bhoga mantapa, there's a special hall in which one special offering in the day, noon offering, the midday offering, Raj Bhog, what we say. So that offering is done in a separate hall. Jagannath Puri temple consists of, the main temple consists of 3 halls. One is the hall where the deity is actually worshipped. It's called the, what is it called? Sri Mantapa. Deity is decorated and worshipped. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. Then there is the Natya Mantapa. Now the Natya Mantapa doesn't seem to be used as far as my knowledge goes. Normally we stand there and have darshan. Natya Mantapa. Natya Mantapa is where the deities are brought formerly, not now. I don't think it happens now. For the pleasure of the deities, there will be devotees singing and dancing. So classical songs and classical dance performance for the sake of deities happens in that Natya Mantapa. And the special offering of the day happens in Bhoga Mantapa. So that's the 3rd hall. So when the bhoga is shifted from the kitchen to the Bhoga Mantapa, they have to pass through one open area. So that time, if a dog just comes there and sees that offering that is being transferred, then what happens? The entire offering is discarded. Entire offering is discarded. It's the biggest offering. So many pots, so many varieties they would have cooked. They have to clean up the whole place and they have to again cook and then offer. So you can understand what is the position of the dog. So here the comparison is being made. Devayani is comparing Sharmishta, who accidentally in a hurry, by mistake, inadvertently, innocent girl, she is the innocent girl, but she put on her dress, she became so angry and she felt her ego is hurt very badly, very deeply. She is comparing, you are just like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. Sacrifice means meant for use of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. That which is meant for Vishnu, this nonsense dog is taking away. So she is comparing herself to the position of Vishnu. Actually, she is not comparing herself to the position of Vishnu. She says, Brahmanas are even worshipped by Vishnu. That's the next set of verses. We don't have time today. Next class we will discuss this. I'll stop here. Tantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.